I'm Preston, and welcome to the Cooking Without Looking Quarantine Cuisine TV show, Valentine's Day edition.
Hey, and hi, I'm Annette Watkins. Hi, everybody out there. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm here with my Valentine. Oh my gosh. You surprised me with roses today. Thank you.
Always get brownie points if you do it on video.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank you. We'll tell you more about how we met so unconventional. We'll talk about that later. Thank you.
Hey, Skip. Well, today on Cooking Without Looking, we have a couple who are blind. They're going to share their love story, and not to get too far ahead of myself, but he really fell for her. And then later, we're going to prepare chicken teriyaki in a new kind of kitchen equipment that makes cooking faster and easier.
And as I said, Skip and I will tell you how we met. It's very unconventional. I can't wait to share it with you. And I'll prepare also my dish, which is a tempeh. You said, what? I said tempeh. It's an alternative to chicken.
I can't wait to see you prepare them. But I have a question. What in the heck is tempeh? Well, I am sure you're going to enlighten us.
I'm going to try, maybe just a little bit. I look forward to it. Thanks, Ellen.
And later, Sylvia Stinson Perez of Mississippi State University will provide her own cooking tips on how to make your cooking even more lovable.
Well, and also we have our guest back, is Jose Cintron.
I guess I'm on.
How we can read our love letters if we're blind, visually impaired, or even low vision. And as you know, all of us on Cooking Without Looking are either blind or visually impaired.
So let's get started on our labor of love, the Cooking Without Looking TV show.
Okay.
Thanks. Where did you go? Where's my guide dog? My trusty friend.
Are we ready to get started?
Yes, we are.
Annette.
Okay, fantastic. Our first guests are just a lovely couple. I want to introduce them to you. They're going to tell us how they met. Their names are Phillip Magalnick. Did I say that correctly, or did I botch it up?
You did a little Dr. Zeus on it, Magalnick, but good attempt.
Okay, and should I even try the next one? It's your lovely
I know,
partner.
you get an extra French fry if you get this one right.
Oh, okay, thank you. I love that. Honorata, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. It's great to meet both of you. But first, before we get started with your recipe, I want to just tell the audience that you guys met at a blind convention. You're both blind. And Phillip actually he literally fell for you. And we're going to hear more about this. So before we start with the recipe, why don't you go ahead and tell us how you guys met?
Well, yes, there was love at first sight. It was 2016 at the Connecticut Affiliate National Federation of the Blind State Convention. And we had met a couple of days before on a Facebook group for retinitis pigmentosa, which is what we both have. And I had just received my Fidelco guide dog, or been approved for it. Haven't gotten her yet, actually. Been approved for a dog. And I didn't realize we were friends on Facebook in this group. And I get a private message, tell me, how do I get a dog? And on Facebook, I'm going to give away a secret. Don't tell anybody. It's between us. Her last name is actually her dog's name on Facebook. So when the screen reader reads Honorata Zula, very quickly, it sounded like a Japanese guy. So I get this message from a alleged Japanese guy, and didn't know where he was. And I'm like, I really don't like messaging. Let's chat on the phone. And we arranged to have a conversation, and she picked up the phone, like, you're not a Japanese guy. And she was in Connecticut, even better. So this was on a Wednesday, and literally she talked my ear off for an hour. Is that right? No.
Yay, woman power.
Other way around. And then I'm like, hey, we're going to be attending this, me and a group from Stanford, the NFB convention up in Shelton, Connecticut. Want meet us up there? And she actually said, okay. We got up there and we only met casually for a few minutes. She actually gave me a chocolate lollipop.
How sweet.
Very sweet.
Oh, no.
I bet I won't get one for Valentine's Day. But anyway, so we met and we spoke a little bit. And the next week, we just text back and forth for a little bit. And
Phil was joking around, and he didn't think that I'm going to actually do it because he didn't know my mobility skills. And
I didn't realize how irresistible I was.
Yeah,
I'm like, why don't you come down for lunch?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'll be there. And she got here, and this is where it was love at first sight. I took an Uber to the train station, the first time ever independently, actually. And she took the train down. So I'm walking up and down, which I thought was the platform, but was the sidewalk. And going back and forth, calling, no answer. She's walking up and down the platform, and we're just passing each other, literally 10 feet from each other. So I start my flashlight. Can you see this? Because there's some perception. Like, no. Finally, I blew my whistle. And when I blew my whistle, she's like, I'm over here. I'm over here. I turned around, ended up down 3 steps. My cane went flying. I ended up in her arms, and the rest is history.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That story is
Good
so funny, yet so heartwarming as well. That is, I've never heard anything quite so romantic. And thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Sure.
Are you guys ready? Do you want to cook your recipe? You have the special equipment that you're using. We're just dying to see it. We would love to see you cook the recipe.
The Uber Eats. When we do cook, it's almost like when we say we walk into walls, we walk into each other. So I'm going to grab the phone, and what we do, something we started making quite recently is marinating chicken breasts in teriyaki sauce overnight, using a contact grill such as the George Foreman grill. And I have a simple one which has no knobs, no buttons, no dials. When it clicks, I know it's preheated, and then I'll use a glove and we'll demonstrate that, how to put the chicken onto the grill, close it up, set it for 10 minutes. No, I have regular gloves on, not oven gloves. Rubber gloves. And then we have a black and white cutting board used for high contrast, which doesn't help me, but helps Honorata for asparagus, a cutting board with a drip kind of ridge for the chicken. And that's pretty easy. Then we have the new Amazon oven, which is voice controlled with the A device. And I just stopped. So I will say, hey, bake 400 degrees for 15 minutes. And it does it. It's a bake, air fryer, convection oven, microwave, toaster oven, everything in one. So that's kind of new to us.
I'm taking out the potatoes.
So she's taking out some potatoes right now.
Oh, look at that.
Do they feel done?
Well, let's see. I'm going to try it first.
And then over here on the other side, Honorata has her little workstation where she was. What were you doing actually? You were just she was only cutting potatoes. I was doing everything else.
Yeah, you did the whole entire meal, so to say.
So why don't you hold the phone so I can show how we slice?
Okay.
Or try your potato first. See what's done.
I'm gonna put it right here.
He has one of our guide dogs right now. She's up for a guide dog. She's gonna get one as soon as one matches her.
Okay, so
And they also just raised a puppy.
the asparagus
We
is
did.
already cut. Yes, we just gave back a Delco German Shepherd
She has
puppy.
she can see like the contrasts of things. She can't see.
So here is my sharp knife. And I have a cutting board with some asparagus spears, baby ones, already washed. And what I'll normally do is cut the ends off. I don't like hard asparagus. And then I have a small plastic container with a little bit of water.
Five.
I'll cover it without sealing it,
Yeah, no.
or use a paper towel. I think I like that easier. And I'll pop this in the microwave. And believe it or not, in 3 minutes, you have great asparagus. I'll
I have
sprinkle
an
some
oven they can talk
on.
to.
So I'm going to go to the microwave, and that will be for 3 minutes. We'll do it while we're waiting. Okay, and then the chicken is a little bit tricky because we are very careful with sharp knives. And I want to show something very quickly. This is Honorata's pride and joy and her largest refrigerator magnet. This is a custom handmade bread knife. Being from Poland, she always wants bread. Has to be fresh bread, which she can cut herself. So this is a handmade. It has, they call it rockwork spine. It's almost like a flint pattern. It's a white blade with a white handle with some designs. And this comes from Half Face Blades, actually. And one of her buddies, Brent down in Texas, made a handmade leather sheath for her and put magnets so she can have it displayed on the refrigerator. And that's where we have
So
that. It's pretty cool.
That is so
Hello?
Hi.
I didn't realize I was muted. Hello?
Hey.
Am I unmuted?
no.
Thanks.
Did I unmute?
Can I introduce myself? This is Sarah. I'm new to this call. I think Lisa Beard recommended that I join.
Sarah,
Welcome.
welcome.
Thank you. Can you tell me a
We're
little
having
bit about what
audio
this call?
difficulty right now. I'm not sure, but it's good to see you guys. Where are you from?
I'm in
I'm
the
from Pueblo, Colorado.
Wow. Cold out there?
Very, very cold.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
This
Oh,
is Peg Halverson, and I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hey, good to hear from you. Is it cold there too?
It's very cold. It is 0 degrees.
Oh,
Well, you got me by about 5 degrees or so.
I think it's supposed to be minus 23 on Monday.
oh my goodness.
Ah, that hurts.
Oh.
Yeah.
This,
Very
this is Susie Stanzel, and Peg Halverson invited me. I'm from
Susie?
Leawood, Kansas. Yes.
Leawood,
Welcome.
Kansas. Is it cold there?
Yes, sir. It's a whole 10 degrees here, but it was 3 and it's supposed to be -10 or -16 on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone, we'll love to do this at the end of the program, but
Okay.
we're just going for the recipes right now. But thank you
Right.
so much, guys, for showing up. Okay, Honorata?
Yeah, Honorata, continue.
Thank you.
Well, where's that card?
Honorata, are you there?
Hello?
Honorata, are you there? Phillip, are you there?
Hello? Oh, wow. Were we muted the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay. We'll start where you left off. You were telling us about the bread knife, and that's where we left off.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
bread knife here, and then what we did is for the potatoes, she is making the potato. We'll do the potatoes 1st,
Mhm.
slicing the
So
potatoes.
I hold the potato between my fingers and the potato is on the cutting board. And then I place the knife between my fingers pointing down. So then when I make a cut, I don't have to have my hands in the way. And then I
Very good.
fold each half on itself and then I cut it. If any of the halves is uneven, and most of the time they're not, I just try I just try to cut the biggest one in half again. Okay. Those potatoes would then end up in a bowl with a drizzle of oil and some spices and I prefer very simple spices. A little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, paprika, just with a little bit of oil and some pepper, and that goes into the oven. Now, the tougher thing to cut is a sweet potato. So I always cut off the ends first because they're kind of yucky and I don't want to stumble upon them when I eat. And once again, you do the same thing. You hold the short side of the potato, and I have the knife under my hand. And this is a little bit tougher. And once again, this one's smaller, this one's bigger. So that's going to be cut a little bit differently. So this one is the fatter one. One more cut. And this one is skinny, so that's going to be only cut in half. So I would mix actually what we did before, and you can see it on the tray over here. We basically mix the sweet potatoes and the red potatoes. And the reason why we do that, because, you know, in love, we have to do a lot of compromising, and Phil and I have very different diets or dietary restrictions. So I eat sweet potatoes and Phil eats all the other types of potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
But that's the only one that I eat. So Phil was going to show you quickly the chicken teriyaki that everybody's waiting
Well,
for.
how'd you cook your potatoes?
Oh, we put it in the oven. So what we did is we just take the whole tray. We take it in a beautiful, brand new, this is not an advertisement, Alexa oven.
It's actually an Amazon oven, but it's okay.
And Phil does the rest.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Alexa, bake 400 degrees, 20 minutes.
You Rentmeister.
Convection baking for 20 minutes.
And then we continue and stop when it's finished. But since those are baked, we'll stop. The chicken I demonstrated while it was on mute. So I had the chicken breasts. Instead of running the knife into the chicken, don't touch the screen. That's what made it mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm not going to do it because my hands are clean now, but I would run the chicken into the knife so the knife stays still. Split the chicken breast in half. Overnight, we marinate it in some teriyaki sauce, and then I put it on the George Foreman grill. About 10 minutes was perfect, about 165 degrees. The asparagus, which is in the microwave, cut the ends off, a little bit of water so it's steamed in the microwave, plastic container or glass container with a lid or a paper towel over it. A little bit of water, maybe half a cup. You can put some salt, pepper, and then when it comes out, 3 minutes, it's actually done. Sprinkle some Parmesan cheese or powdered cheese over that. And that's really it. It's very quick. You know, the George Foreman grill, as I said while we were muted, I got the simple one. There's some you can control the temperature or the style, this or that. This is simple, no buttons, no switches, no gimmicks. There's a light on top that would go off when it's preheated. I just listen for the click, so I know it's preheated, then put everything on there. The microwave oven we have is a general one, nothing special, but we can use.
We do have a lot of bump that's on it so that we can figure out where the buttons are when we use them. Similarly, with the regular oven, you know, this is way tougher for us because of the dials, but definitely the cooktop is kind of impossible because we can't feel where to put the pots on, so we prefer not to use the cooktop. And just a quick peek, I have cobbler in the oven just for teas. All right, so I think Phil, is there anything else?
Not unless they want any more details of our love life.
Yes, that sounds good and spicy. I'm telling you, your food sounds amazing. I'm impressed with how you work as a couple. You're very calm in the kitchen.
Oh, no. You weren't here 30 minutes ago.
Oh, really? That's funny. Thank you so much. If you want to add anything else about cooking, any cooking tips or anything, please feel free.
Sure. Just don't be afraid to try. You know, I'm reluctant to use the flat top stove, so we're going to order probably one of the infrared plates. It's a one burner kind of portable stove countertop device for boiling. We do get a lot of takeout, a lot of Uber Eats because the choices of food is so crazy. You can get anything from Greek to Italian to Thai and American. So we take advantage of that. But at home, it's usually the basics we cook. She'll like to make me things that she can't eat herself, unfortunately. She doesn't eat beef, can't eat rice, potatoes, or mushrooms due to food allergies and sensitivities. So it's kind of tough to find something we both like. I can't stand food. She loves it. So it's often a little bit of a balance.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, Philip, but most people, to be honest with you, they pick like 5 or 6 things that they really love, if they can agree on, and they make those over and over. And then with the Uber Eats and takeout, then you'll get like a variety. So I understand what you're saying.
I think our favorite are, we call them tacos gringos. I've made for decades. It's just taco mixed with ground turkey.
Yeah.
And then the veg we use green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper, tomatoes, onions, cucumber, shredded cheese, olives. And that's kind of a popular dish that lasts about 2 days. We do 2 pounds of meat, ground turkey. It really lasts for 2 days. And that's a huge burrito.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
So we try to stay with the recipes that are not very complicated, and even with the chicken teriyaki, you know, my preference would be to add a little bit of salt and garlic to it before marinating, you know, so to add an additional kind of hint of flavor.
And I disagree, because teriyaki sauce has salt in it. It has a soy sauce in there. It has garlic.
Yeah, so
This is every night.
Right.
You guys are great. We all really appreciate that you shared your story with us. It was very heartwarming, as I said, and sharing your recipe with us. We really appreciate it. And we thank you so much for joining us. I hope you continue to watch Cooking Without Looking, and we'll look forward to having you on again, okay?
Our pleasure.
Y'all
Thank
have
you.
a great Valentine's Day. It was so nice meeting you. Bye-bye.
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 Nice to meet you, everybody.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for sharing.
Our pleasure.
That was really great. And now we get to meet our very own Annette Watkins Valentine, Skip.
Yes, thank you, Ellen. I don't know where
Skip,
he went.
you
He
lucky man.
disappeared.
Whoa.
Here he comes. Here comes.
Oh, I'm too early? Oh, okay.
Oh, he brought me some, was this wine or sparkling champagne or something? Hi, guys.
Oh, wow. Now we get to meet our very own Annette Watkins Valentine, Skip. I know you guys have been together a long time. Hey, Skip, you lucky man. How did you two meet?
Well, it was about 24 years ago. I was in church and I felt someone tap my shoulder. And I turned around and Annette was there and she said to me, "You look like somebody I can talk to." And she hasn't stopped since. So, hey. No, she's great. I'll tell you, I don't cook, but I eat. So we're a great pair. She cooks and I eat. It's fantastic. It really works out very well.
I know you're her #1 cheerleader. You've been at almost every show we've done, and it's really good to see you again today, Skip. What is that in that little glass, that little champagne?
Yes, it is.
Celebrating anything special or just Valentine's Day in general?
Valentine's Day in general, and the fact that she's cooking, I'm gonna eat dinner tonight. So, hey, you know, it's a great thing.
That sounds great. And speaking of a dinner, now Annette is going to show us how to use the air fryer for her faux chicken sticks made with tempeh?
I'm not laughing at you. The name is definitely hard to pronounce if you haven't been around.
I got to eat this stuff. Don't call it tempeh, okay? I eat everything that makes, and it's fantastic. She calls it faux. I don't know how the heck she does it, but it comes out fantastic. So I'm going to step aside because when the knife starts to fly and she starts to chop, I got to get the hell out of the way because she's visually impaired.
Thank you. I'll tell you, that's why I keep him around. He's funny, isn't he? He is so fun to be with. Now, you said, Ellen, I was making chicken sticks. I have to apologize. The tempeh, I decided since it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to do something a little bit different with it, but it's the same stuff. I mean, you could chop it. You could cut it into squares. You could cut it into strips, whatever you want to do. I'm going to surprise you with what I'm going to do with this today. Now, tempeh is a Japanese soy product made from fermented soybeans that are soaked, cooked, then they're put through the process of fermentation. And then it's made into a cake-like block, which I'm going to show you when I get it. I just need to cut this open. The hardest part of tempeh, T-E-M-P-H, and a lot of you, I'm sure, know what it is. For those that you don't, forgive me for being so elementary about it. But the hardest part is cutting the package open. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to take a serrated knife, cut the top of the package. Hope you can see this. And then once the top is open, I'm just going to slide the knife in between the plastic there and open the side. Tempeh has been around since like the 16th century. People have been eating it and they just love it. It's full of protein. Okay, this is what it looks like. If you could see that, it's like a block, like a heavy, very dense. Tempeh is very dense, so I'm going to steam it because it takes on all the flavors, and the steam helps the tempeh to absorb the flavors of the sauce. Okay, I'm putting this on my board, and I'm going to cut it with my cookie cutter. Guess which one I chose? This is a heart. Okay, with this is really 2 servings right here. So this is perfect. You know how much protein is this in this? It's amazing. I use this as an alternative to chicken. This has 19 grams of protein in 1 serving. And guess what? No fat at all. So if you want to get away from some fat and you want to eat this instead of chicken, no offense to Phil and Honorata, because I love chicken too. But I do mostly plant-based, and this is considered plant-based. I'm putting the cookie cutter in there, and you're gonna see how pretty this is for Valentine's Day. I made a heart. Da-da-da. Let me turning my stove on because we're going to steam this for like 10 minutes. Make another one here. A little love heart. And instead of the sticks, we got more of a patty. So what I'll probably do with this is put it on a bed of lettuce, or for those that prefer, you can put it in or a hamburger bun. So I got 2 hearts. 2 hearts are better than 1, right? There you go. Okay, no singing, I promise. Sorry. I'm going to time it. I got a digital watch. I can see better. Okay, so it's like, all right, keep it there. I'll get some other things made. Now, when I cut those hearts, you're going to have a lot of pieces left over. I have a bunch, and that's fine. Usually, if I wasn't doing the show, I would cut them up into little pieces and also make them flavorful. But for now, I'm just going to set them aside. We're not going to use it. Next thing I want to show you, you cut your tempeh first, however you want, doesn't matter. You cut into squares, you can cut it into strips, cut it into hearts, stars, whatever you want. I'm steaming it. Now I'm going to go over to my air fryer, which I love this air fryer. It's even red for Valentine's Day. The key to the fryer, I think, you might disagree, but it's parchment paper. You gotta use parchment paper with your fryer. It'll keep the bottom clean and it'll really save you a lot of time. So what I did was before the show, I cut a piece of wood 8 inches by 8 inches. I want to leave some room at the on the side so it acts more like a basket. You know, hold in any liquid or crumbs and be a lot easier. So we're going to pretend 10 minutes is over. It's about over. Shut the stove off. I had one of those flat stoves, and I only used 2 of the burners because those are the only ones I remember where to turn the dial. Skip helped me at first, so now I know where to put it for high and then smaller burner. But it's not my favorite. I prefer a gas range. So we're gonna lift the top off, set it to the side. My tempeh has been steaming for a few minutes. I'm gonna say about 10 minutes. You wanna do that. I'm gonna place the tempeh on a small plate. Okay, then the next step would be to spray it with a little bit of oil. Now the oil that I use is avocado, and the reason I use avocado is because it's very heat resistant. It takes high temperatures before it destroys the chemical structure or whatever. But I don't pour oil on it. It's just too much oil. A fryer is meant to use either with no oil or very little. Like I just use it for fries to make it crispy. And the reason I'm using tempeh is to make it crispy. I'm gonna spray lightly, turn them over, spray lightly. Fantastic. If you can see those, 2 little hearts. Let's put them in the fryer. Okay, that's done. Close the fryer, and I have it preset for 400 degrees. Gonna put it up to 400. It's usually, I apologize. No. I didn't preset it. I preset it for 375. But I want to go up to 4. So I keep clicking the up arrow until it stops, and it tells me it's at 400. Okay, then I set it for 10 minutes because usually I set it for 20. So I'm going to go down 5 taps on there, and I'm going to start it. Okay, let it do its magic. While that's going on, the next step is to make the sauce. That's the magic, makes this taste yummy. Come back over here, I've got the bowl, and I'm going to show you what I put in here for the sauce. Now, Phillip was talking about teriyaki sauce. You could even use a teriyaki sauce with this. Anything that's your favorite flavor, go ahead and make your sauce. Today, I'm just using 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup mixed with honey. So actually it's a tablespoon of maple syrup and a tablespoon of honey. You could do all maple syrup or you could do all honey. It's not a problem. Then I have a tablespoon. Oh, I got some on my fingers. I like that. Tastes sweet. Excuse me. Honey, sweet, yummy, yummy. Okay, now I've got a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I can't say that word. What? Worcestershire? Does anybody have any idea? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. All right, this is a teaspoon of liquid smoke. This is also one of the magic ingredients. This gives it that smoky kind of flavor. If you don't have liquid smoke, you could use maybe smoked paprika for that. It's very versatile, what you can use. And finally, as an ingredient, I put a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. Set in the bowl. Feels a little gooey because of the honey, and I like that because it'll help make it stick. One thing I want to emphasize about the tempeh, a lot of people might not know this. A lot of people out there might. We have so many people that watch this show. This is organic tempeh. I get this at Trader Joe's. And the reason I get organic, it's very important that soy is organic, so it's not sprayed with a bunch of pesticides. Now, a lot of people think that soy is bad for you, that men are going to grow man boobs. I'm sorry, Dad, that's true. I think men are going to grow man boobs and women are going to, God forbid, get breast cancer. But that could be farther from the truth because what's happening is people think, well, you have estrogen, it's going to cause breast cancer, it's going to cause man boobs, and so forth. But actually, because tempeh is a phytoestrogen, it clings and binds with estrogen in your breast, estrogen that you have everywhere, or receptor sites that you have everywhere. So it doesn't allow bad estrogen like plastics to go to those receptor sites. I might be getting ahead of myself here, but a lot of you, I'm sure, understand it's a different type of soy. In fact, eating soy at least 2 or 3 servings a week is good for you. It prevents many cancers, and it's awesome. I eat it at least 3 times a week, and so far so good. So let's check on tempeh. what I'm gonna do is going to pretend again it's been in for 10 minutes. So we put it 10 minutes and then we flip it to another 10 minutes. What I want to share with you about the air fryer is you got to remember to always turn your food because you think it's going to be cooked on both sides, but it doesn't really. Like even when I have French fries, I have to take my hand and I kind of toss them a little so you get all the sides on there. And if you use the parchment paper again, you're going to have easy cleanup. You just throw away the parchment paper. I only clean the bottom of this. I don't know if I should tell you, but I would clean it every second, third use. You don't have to clean the bottom of it every time. But if you want, you can. It comes apart very easily. Okay, we're going to pretend another 10 minutes is up. For the sake of time, I'm not going to have you wait. So what I'm going to do, put it on a plate, 2 hearts together. And I'm going to put some of my secret sauce on here. Smells good. Yummy. So I'm pouring with a big tablespoon. I'm coating tempeh. I'm going to turn it over. Plate. Put some more sauce on there. Seeping in. Even though it's very dense, the tempeh, it's just. Put it back in the fryer. Put back in the fryer for another 10 minutes. I want to share with you. This is a huge sheet of paper here, but as you know, we're all cooking up for time. Impaired, and I have what's called Stargardt disease, so I can't see small print. I don't drive, and it's hard to recognize faces. Now, when I started with this condition back, it's like 2070. Now it's more like 22,400. So it's got. So I'm just going to read this off to you. Some of what's in the tempeh. As I said, the 2 hearts are about, it's 1 heart.
Excuse me, Annette.
Yeah.
Annette, your sound is a little difficult to hear right now.
Okay. I'll go louder. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It was just breaking up a little.
Feel like I'm yelling, but okay. What I'm saying is, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the tempeh and the nutritional facts about it. Like 1 serving has 1 gram of fat and has 0 saturated fat, 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, 11 carbs. Guess how much fiber? Oh my goodness. 10 fiber in 1 serving of tempeh. It's only 190 calories. And it's got protein. It has over 19 grams of protein. So if you're trying to cut back on your fat and you still want your protein and your fiber, the tempeh is going to do it. And a big brick like that, a cake type brick, I think it's only like $1.99 at Trader Joe's. So it's very cost effective as well. But if you eat 6 ounces of chicken, no offense, Phillip, because I eat chicken too, but it's always good to have an alternative. 6 ounces of chicken have 23 fat. 6 ounces of steak have 30 grams of fat. Okay, and then the tempeh has 0. And it has niacin, has potassium, has magnesium, and just a bunch of good reasons to eat tempeh. Even though it's a pain in the butt to say it. That was good. All right, so let's pretend again 10 minutes is up. Final step. And I'm going to show you the finished project. Finished product, like magic. Then you take it out and you put more of the sauce on there. I don't know if you can see this, but I just added more of the sauce on the tempeh. Okay. Love that sauce. I put these back in. And they'll cook for another 10 minutes. I turned them around. I added more sauce. I poured some more sauce in the fryer gently. Happens to be sticking on top. So it's a good thing. Okay, so that's going to do its magic with the essence of TV, which is Zoom. So wonderful. I have the finished product right here. I set it up on a hard plate for your loved one. And here's the 2 hearts. Now, you could either eat it on a bed of lettuce. You can also put it on a hamburger bun or any kind of bread and put tomatoes around it so it's a nice presentation. There you go.
Did I miss the food? Did I miss the food?
He always seems to know when it's ready.
Oh, yes.
You want to try it, honey?
I sure do, actually. It's actually, it's a fantastic, the flavor this stuff has. I am so impressed with the flavor. She tells me it's faux whatever, and I said, okay. I eat anything she makes, it's so good.
All right, you
You see the credit?
not barely.
Oh, I'm just kidding. It's very good.
You know, it doesn't have any flavor when you start out, but that's what's so great. Tofu and tempeh take on the flavor of what you give it. So
It tastes like a meat, though, a meat of some sort.
yeah, well, that's the whole idea. You want it to taste like either a burger or you can have a chicken, call it a chicken stick and have your guests dip into a sauce. So that's all. That's all I got.
That's it? What's for dessert?
Tofu. Silken tofu pudding. How about that?
That's fantastic. Here, one more little toast. I want to thank you guys for watching Annette. I want to thank the fact that because Annette got to cook, I got to eat, which that is great. Thank you. You know, when I introduced Annette as my girlfriend, guys look at me funny, and then I said, "Well, she's visually impaired." They said, "Oh, that explains why she's with you. She's visually impaired." Oh, okay. So I will leave you to the rest of the show. Thank you, guys. Enjoy.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annette and
Skip.
Skip. Really appreciate it. That sounds like, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm still here. Well, I'm trying to read down here because I got stuff I got to get in here. But I wanted to ask a couple of questions about that air fryer. I'm curious, Annette.
Sure.
Does it take long to preheat that?
Okay. I have to say I did a little cheating. When I first got the air fryer, I was all freaked out because I had to learn something new and be visually impaired, right? It takes longer. So after a while, I was doing everything by the book, preheated, blah, 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 blah. Now I just turn it on, hit the button and turn it on. And I put my stuff in there and it gets hot pretty quick. And I just let it run a little bit longer. I really don't have many mishaps with this thing, you know? Unless you leave it like forever, then it burns. So I don't preheat it. I just use it.
No, that's good to know. Yeah, because I don't have one of those, and I may get one. I understand you can't cook veggies in it. Is that right?
You could cook veggies. I've done that. You don't have to spray them, but you could. Like the other day, I took peppers, green, red, and yellow. I sprayed them a little bit. I added some salt and pepper, and I put them in the air fryer with parchment paper. Make sure you use parchment paper in there. And they came out delicious. They were a little bit crusty and not real mushy, but not real soft. Okay.
Now, most foods you put in there, they already need to be cooked before you put them in the air fryer. Is that right?
Not really. No, I never cooked meat in here, so I really can't tell you there, but no, you don't have to cook something before you put it in there. I know people put a whole chicken in there and they put steak in there, but I bought this baby mainly because I love French fries. So I bought it for French fries and now I use it in my tempeh. What else have I made here? I warm up some pizza. If you don't want it, your microwave might make the pizza mushy. If you want your pizza left over from yesterday, you put it in here, it makes it crispy.
Oh,
So
that sounds.
Skip just yelled to me, "Brother, go brown."
Okay. So you just need to use the correct amount of oil, which is basically nothing but a little spray. And you don't want to overcrowd it too much. Is that right?
Yeah, no, you don't want to crowded, although I do. I wish they made these with a bigger bottom. I mean, no pun intended, but I wish they made it with like a bigger basket because this thing's really big, isn't it? I think it's very big. It takes up a lot on the counter, but yeah, so I tend to crowd my French fries, but then I open it. Once you open it, it stops. So you don't have to worry. It's still warm, still hot actually. Let's say you had French fries in there and they were overcrowded. You could open it every 5 minutes. Take a what do you call it? Yeah. What do you call it? Anyway, take something on your hand, like a pot holder, and just toss them around so it gets golden on other sides of it if it's a little crowded. Because you're not gonna lay your French fries like perfectly. I mean, you could do that, but I think that would take.
Yeah, I'm an old shop teacher. I might do that. Annette,
It's healthier. So much healthier.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Does that help you? Does that help, Ellen? I know I kind of go by the seat of my pants sometimes because being visually impaired, I get too caught up in numbers and procedures. I just cook. I just gotta eat.
Yeah. I sort of do the same thing myself. You know, you trial and error a little bit. Fortunately, I don't have somebody like Skip that I have to cook for, and you must be doing a great job. Thank you again, Annette. Thank you so very much. And now, have you been receiving love letters and found it difficult to read them? I know I have. I love letters. But anyway, we have John Cintron from Florida. I'm sorry, Jose Cintron from, oh geez, I did that, didn't I? From Florida Vision Technology to tell you which is the perfect technology to use to read whatever, whether you're totally blind, visually impaired, or low vision. Hey, Jose, welcome.
Hey, Alan. Yeah, so hey guys, my name is Jose Cintron, and today, since it's Valentine's Day, we're gonna do a his and hers type of demonstration. I just love that working right there. Can you just reach over there? Thank you. Can you guys hear me good?
Sure can.
Awesome. Can you see me good? Hello.
Ah, forget it.
Awesome. So 2 devices that we have today in front of the camera is an OrCam Read, which is a handheld device that helps people that are low vision, totally blind, or print disabled read text. And then on the desk beside me, we have a Magalnick Vision 23, which is a desktop video magnifier. And today I have Lisa with me, who's going to show that device. Hello, Lisa. Hello. Awesome. So I'm going to show you guys the OrCam Read real quick. Again, it's a handheld device. It's small enough to fit around your neck on a lanyard. You can put it in your pocket, throw it in a purse. Along the top of the device, we have 4 physical buttons. Going from front to back, we have a circle that allows me to take pictures of text where it will then read it out loud to me. A plus button that allows me to do things like raise the volume. I have a minus button that allows me to do things like lower the volume. And then I have a power button that allows me to turn on and off the device as well as suspend and unsuspend the device. Now this device to me is pretty easy to use. All I do is grab a piece of paper, hold it up in front of me, and then I aim the OrCam Read at the paper. So I'm holding the OrCam Read in my right hand as the same way I would hold a pen, and my right index finger is on the circle button, and I'm holding the paper in my left hand, and it's about arm's length away. So I'm going to quickly press that circle button real quick.
When you are old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book.
So it took a picture, and now it's reading it to me. Ooh, I like love poems. I can press that plus button to go forward. I can press that minus button to go backwards. And I could double press the circle button while it's reading to play/pause. So I'm gonna double press. As you hear, it's making a little blip noise. So let me know that it is paused. So if I get a phone call or I'm doing something and I want to pause it, I can do so. And then to resume it, I just simply double press again. And then if I want to stop it, I simply just press the circle button 1 time. So right now I have it reading it in a female voice. You know, some of us want to hear a male's voice. I'm going to change the voice real quick so you can see what that sounds like. All right. Super easy to do. So What I really like about this device is that it does read in multiple languages. So if you are a Spanish speaker and you're reading a Spanish document, it will read that document to you in Spanish. All right, so let's go ahead and read a different document. So we're gonna read a different document real quick. Again, another poem that someone sent me. So I'm holding it up. I'm holding it about a foot away, maybe a foot and a half, aiming my Orcam read towards that paper. Gonna single press that button. Boom. Okay, so my paper is upside down, so I'm just gonna flip that over real quick. Let's go ahead and take a picture.
How do I love thee?
Ooh.
Let me count the ways.
Ooh.
I love thee to the depth and breadth and height. My soul
Someone loves me. I like that.
my feeling out of sight for the ends of being.
And again, I can just single press it.
Can I ask you something? It is possible to. Sorry, can I ask you something?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So the cool thing about this device is, you know, me as a blind person, I'm just simply aiming it towards what I want to read and pressing that button. But if you're sighted, you could press and hold that circle button, and it's going to put a cursor on the paper. And wherever that cursor is at, once you release it, it's going to read from there. So let's press and hold. Cursor, let go.
How do one love thee? Let me count the ways.
So it's starting from the top.
To the depth and breadth and height.
And I just simply single press it to stop it. And this can read pretty much any printed text, whether it's on a computer screen, a phone screen, a piece of paper, signage. The only thing it does not read is handwritten text. And that's the Orcam Read. We're going to show you another device real quick called the Magalnick Vision 23. So I'm going to let Lisa take it from here.
All right, good afternoon. So right now I just have some colorful Valentine's hearts on the screen of the on the tray of the Magalnick Vision. And whatever I have placed on this XY tray is magnified up onto the screen. Folks really love this device because it's very simple. It only has 3 knobs. It has a power button on the left at the bottom of the screen. It has a magnification wheel right in the center, and it has little stops, little clicks, so that you know you can zoom in little steps instead of, and it will stay in focus as it's viewing as you're viewing what's on the screen. And then the button on the far right now, when it's at 12 o'clock, it's in full color. If we click over to 11 o'clock, it's a high contrast negative white on black image. Click over to 10 o'clock and it's a high contrast yellow on black. Then we're going to go back to noon, 12 o'clock for full color. And then if we click to the right, 1 o'clock, we have a positive white on black and a positive yellow on black. So whatever you can fit on this tray is magnified onto the screen, and the screen moves on an XY axis. So if you were moving down a page, you would move from top to bottom, pull it down towards you. If you're going towards the bottom of what you're viewing, these little Valentine's hearts, you would push the tray away from you, and then you can also move it left and right. So I'm going to place a document on here. The history of Valentine's Day. Now we can go down to a true 1x magnification. This is already large. This is already large print. It's 18-point type, and it's in full color, but I want to give that contrast. I like white letters on a black background, and now I can zoom it up and still have that full column. Move left to right as I view what's on the screen. So that's a little history about the legend of Saint Valentine. But I can put my recipe book, I can place those same poems that Jose was reading. So we really wanted to give you an idea of how to do the magnification in live mode for viewing and reading, and then viewing and reading with magnification, lighting, and contrast in a simple format that's easy to use and comfortable to view for long periods of time versus the text-to-speech option that Jose showed you with the Orcam Read.
Yeah, and I love that machine because, I mean, if you're low vision and you have pictures of your loved one, you can just pop it right on that little table and you could go ahead and stare at that picture for hours.
You can also raise and lower the screen. So it's pretty much a one-size-fits-all for anyone with low vision. Lots of working distance. It has about 16 inches of working distance, and we can magnify up to 45 times on this device.
Very cool.
Well, thank you so much, Jose and Lisa. That's really great. So no matter what your level of eyesight or vision, you will be able to know independently how that special someone feels about you, right?
That's right.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, I want to tell you, sorry because I don't use mute, because if I put it automatically, sorry for my English first of all, sorry. I can't ask you what I'm curious to ask you. We are from Romania. We are some three girls or two girls here. And this device about how to write it, if I understood very well, my English is not very good. Sorry for this again.
Good.
And I have problem, even me too, with my eyes. I'm blind. So this device, first of all, what you show us, it is very interesting. You do a picture and I didn't understood very well. It is writing for you, is reading for you, or something like this?
Yeah, so it's reading the text that it sees in front of the camera. So the device is probably the shape of a marker. So that's why I hold it like a pen. And along the front, along the top of the device, there's 4 physical tactile buttons. On the front of the device is a flat camera lens. So anything that's in front of that lens, you take a picture, any text that it sees on that lens, it goes ahead and it reads it back to you. And it does read in multiple different languages. The device I have today does both English and Spanish, but we are able to put other languages on that device for people who speak other languages. And you know, we have other devices that are very similar. Alan, do you mind if I plug in our toll-free number right now? And
you could do that, but do it really quick. We're kind of running.
Yep. So if you
got
have
about 3 minutes left in our hour.
The problem is I would like to buy one like this because we are students in Romania, blind student at letters, if I say right. And the problem is we don't have many things how to
So if you want, go ahead and shoot me an email. My email address is Jose, Jose, at floridareading.com. So that's Florida spelled out.
Can you send us a message here on chat, because I told you my English is not very good.
Yeah, I'll have the host of the thing put that in there. But for all of you guys that want to get a hold of us at Florida Vision Technology, you can either email me at Jose at floridareading.com. That's Jose at floridareading.com. That's spelled out. Or give me a call at 1-800-981-5119. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank
you know,
you.
we've really had a great time here today online on our Valentine's Day Cooking Without Looking. For today's recipes, please go to www.cookingwithoutlooking.wordpress.com. Our Cooking Without Looking podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Overcast, Google Podcasts, and many more. For sponsorship opportunities, please call us at 305-200-9100. And from all of us here on the Cooking Without Looking TV show, Quarantine Cuisine Edition, hey, have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And thank you to all of our viewers who view us. With a phone conversation, I found out how many countries and how many thousands of people watch this show. I think that's great. I miss the hugs and handshakes of doing these live, but you know, you're watching us online like this is like hearing applause from you. So thank you very much to all of you. Thank you, Renee and everyone.